close it is. They need to win everything, and people need to lose to the right people. So yeah, they're in a tough spot, let's say.
Yeah, if they want any hope, even if it's the tiniest little fraction of a chance, they must get wins all day today. We'll see if they'll be able to do it here. We get underway. Alliance on their dire side begin the rollout. Not looking like anything too fishy as far as role assignments here for one side. One early TP is Ake will be on the scene right away with his Dazzle to be able to flop down an obs up and above.
A casual question. You level 1 Roshing? That question coming out from Alliance is pretty fun, since they're the team, of course, that did it yesterday with their Witch Doctor Ursa.
Yeah, and I guess any opportunity now when you're going against Alliance and you may see a Lone Druid, you may see an Ursa, you might have to take a peek in there just in case.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the time to do it too.
There we go. There's that little sneak peek by the bear. Just like, okay, what's happening?
Just making sure. Because this is the time to do it. It's not nearly as easy, I'd imagine, to get away with it when you get to main stage. If you want to do it, it's got to be here.
It's because of the live audience, exactly. Having the crowds, they always give it away, those sneaky little buggers. Yeah. So much better to have, you know, your reliable online streaming. That's when you can level 1 Roche safely. Alliance, they know.
Okay, look at this positioning here from Escape. Waiting up and behind, there's an obs just on the lower ground right there, and they'll see Koikfa roll on through, and then they'll see Kezu, and they'll realize there's a lot of people over there.
There might be more.
Yeah, but EGM says, I'll casually walk in and right through in between, and now he's sandwiched in. He has been able to backpedal a bit. Can he make it away from this trouble? It looks like he'll be possibly fine, but as I say that, look at all the damage coming in from Era. He's got to be able to whip him down. On commitment from Cinderin with the Burrow coming in from Kezu. It should be enough, and they're going to be able to secure first blood for Escape.
Man, I love this idea of having Cinderin on Ogre. It's very hard to die on Ogre. He's just running in like a boss.
Very different for, what we usually see Cinderin on. He's usually on those little frail defensive supports, you know?
I'm so confused as to why EGM walked in there after seeing 2 people run down from your jungle. You know that everyone is going to run together in the early game if they go into your jungle. There's going to be 5 of them.
It's that clown car thing where you come out and you're like, there can't be any more there. No, there's the whole team.
Yeah. Well, EGM gets a little bit caught out there and going to go down, of course. To Kezu on his Sand King solo mid. So with that Caustic Finale on level 2, he doesn't have it yet. He's going to be able to lane quite well against the Timbersaw.
And how about down here and below? We got Koikfa's Lone Druid and his bear who keeps getting poked back by Ake. He's just refusing to allow it to be easily teleported back in. And full aggro setup here. They're looking to pressure this Lone Druid as much as possible. But now that Yapsor and Cinderin are making their return, how will this try-on-try end up developing?
I actually think that Escape Gaming are in a pretty good position holding this try. And the 2 solo lanes, I would say, are pretty good for them as well. Razor should be winning his lane, and mid lane should be at least even, with the Sand King being such a strong solo man.
So good typically against this Timbersaw. We were talking about it a lot during Star Series when Na'Vi was beginning to pull it out. Sand King just so good at being able to crush down opposing laners in the melee department, if you will. Caustic is just very devastating.
Yeah, definitely.
Bottom. Early open wounds here for Cinderin. He's a very fat target. You're going to have to unload everything you can if you want to be able to bring down that big boy, that's for sure.
It's the mighty Dane. He doesn't want to die. They're going to pull back and hold the creep wave a little bit back. They have the push coming back into a tower Alliance, so good position to just farm away.
And Alliance just kind of have to, even though it feels like the matchup favors Escape, they're persistent in buckling down here. You don't think they should do any sort of mobility to kind of, change things up elsewhere?
They probably need level 3 on Kunkka before you can really gank anyone. That's the big issue. 400 range on your X mark and not having boots, he can't really go up and find someone. In fact, it's going to be Escape saying, hey, we'll switch. Just put the Lone Druid top, bring the Razor down, and we can definitely fight the lane better with that.
All right, let's see what kind of things Escape can do with this change-up play. Already a casual Ignite going to be flying out there, and the rotation is also going to be coming from the side of Alliance, it looks like. Lotus first to TP up to the top lane here. Bulldog's still here now, but eventually he'll turn back, and I imagine just take his business elsewhere. He could even go, I was going to say maybe right to the jungle, but he doesn't have a talent or anything, and it looks like Alliance are just going to match up the laning.
Yeah, they're gonna match it up, and I think this might work out better for Escape. I'm not sure though, because I think the Razor was fine top, and the Lone Druid could always get farm bottom as well with the supports helping him. Mid we see a little slown out by Kunkka, but as I said, no boots, no bueno.
Yeah, no boots, no bueno. I like that.
Can't kill.
Kunkka is going to casually look like he's running up and through here, but he actually pinged out exactly where Koikfa is. He has been missing off the radar a bit, and currently
he could kill the bear.
Side camp.
He could kill it.
Moves in, gets the attack, but the bear's pulled back and quickly resummoned.
Yeah, we'd have to go and like run up and punch it or something.
Yeah.
And even then, he has the Savage Roar.
S4 mid lane gets slowed down from the concussive shot following a burrow here from Kezu. But, oh man, he eats another little caustic pop.
Timber has a very sad injured animation.
Yeah, he
like
does.
drags his body.
He's holding his own though, gotta say, in the CS department. It's 21-21.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a Timber against a Strength Hero. It's not a terrible matchup for Timber. It's just that Sanking gets a lot of farm very easily.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a wash with aggressive potential, I will say.
Okay.
That mid lane.
Fair enough. Looks like for Alliance they've had to abandon the bottom lane entirely, though. In the meantime, let's quick kind of free farm it up with Cinder just hanging nearby as babysitter just in case.
A lot of rotations here.
Yeah.
Escape switching lanes twice in 4 minutes.
Yeah, Razor's back here now, and he's making his move for Loda, a casual whip, but the rest of Alliance looking to go for maybe a flank setup. Bulldog's rolling on forward, but Cinder's already there, hits him in the face with a fire blast, and they will move on forward with the X, the Torn combo. Loda will help chunk down and take out Era.
That Shadow Wave dealing so much damage, and yeah, they have a Hasted Ogre, not for long though. Haste is about to run out, gonna back out and be safe.
Nice setup play there by Alliance. They will lose Bulldog at the front, but the fall through will allow them to secure the Razor takedown.
To be fair, they did bring in 4 people for it though, so free farm on so used to saying Bulldog when we see a Lone Druid on Koikwa, of course, is the trade-off as well.
Yeah, very true.
But that Shadow Wave on Dazzle, they utilize it in a very good way. All of them running up and getting the 4 heals.
Hug him.
To Razor.
Hug the opponent and get as much out of that physical burst.
Yep.
Now Escape kind of work with the creeps under the tower as they back up in a more defensive posture. Will he touch base with the bottom lane where Bulldog's matching up toe-to-toe against Koikfa once again. And Koikfa, you know, 26 CS, still the middle road right here. I guess that's due to having to move lanes so often here in the early game.
Yeah, and he is trying to stay away from this lifestealer, but Loda is chasing him. Now down to bottom lane, and that means Koikfa is TPing top. Minute 5, we've done 3 lane swaps. This is crazy.
Thank goodness Ice Frog put a good discount on those TP scrolls, that's for sure.
Yeah, or Koikfa would be struggling for money.
Look at this. A pause does come out here from the side of Alliance, but Era has...
That static sound.
Yeah. Kill me. He's linking away all the damage here from Little Jerry.
Yeah, but Jerry is fast. TGM, he's gonna run away. He's got the Windlace and boot, so even though Era is a little bit faster, he won't be able to hit and run on him. Nothing like that.
What about for Yapzor here? He looks like he's floating around the mid lane. The potential Skywrath is important for him to be able to do a lot in the early game.
They have no silence. That's the big issue. He's level 3, and yes, they have Sanking ulti, but I don't know if they can kill. Maybe. Oh, he doesn't have Timber Chain. Okay, then they can definitely kill.
But they're not making the move yet. There they will go for it. It's a Burrow strike into an epicenter with the caustic slow, and no Timber Chain is mentioned. S4 can't make it away.
I'm a little bit surprised he doesn't have a single point in it. It's just very, very useful, and especially on the mid lane. I don't like this triple point in reactive armor. I actually think that's a mistake. Because you don't take that many right clicks anyway from a Sanking, and when you do, it's a lot of magical damage, in fact, not just physical.
Yeah.
So, I don't really agree with the skill build. He could have lived with a Timber Chain.
He'll be punished for it now. This time Yapzor actually has a point into the silence if necessary, and he continues to wait. Meanwhile, top lane,
instant
root. He just came back from the dead, gets rooted up in the top lane. Era, though, could be caught between, but it's not going to be enough. It's a 3-on-1 double roots, and Gustav double takedown on the Timber.
Wow, that's just really unfortunate for him, and I guess it's karma. Alliance getting double rooted, you know. It's they've done this to others. Koikfa giving it back.
A little bit of a Strug City here at the start for Alliance. The best thing going for him, though, is that Loda continues to win in the CS department here in the bottom lane.
Right.
They've already bursted through a tier 1.
Okay. He missed the ward. Or is he going to find it on the way back? Because he put down a sentry, but he didn't get the D-ward. He's been spotted walking into enemy jungle here.
Yeah, right back over here.
He never found it. He didn't check.
Oh, he drops his own obs. He should see it there. Oh.
No, he needs to walk in. It's a little bit...
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's unfortunate. Because now, not only does he not, you know, find the ward, but you're gonna pretend like there's no vision there, and This rotation coming in now.
It's going to be spotted.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
looking
gonna
at
be
their
spotted.
vision, and they're going to quickly see
Yeah,
two,
they
and
saw
that's
them.
going to be immediately ping. Gapsor and company pull back.
That is disastrous. You need to get that ward down.
And that gank is totally gone. It's just crazy. Dota, what a game, right? One little ward, one little misplay like that, and you miss a whole gank opportunity.
Oh, he's out now. He's like, damn it. He's face palming. And Bowler is going to run in and steal that money because Ake does not deserve it right now.
I'm sorry, Ake.
Tomorrow.
Ake and Alliance will have to take that one for now. And already a fireback play here from Escape mid lane. Burrow connection, EGM, the lone Admiral. Pop between three.
Not looking good for him as he has the Sand King poison as well.
We'll get the X off, but it's from the grave.
Yeah, and there's also a regen rune on Kezu on his Sand King, so he's going to be happy. In fact, he canceled his regen with a Molly Creep aggro. It's fine. He got enough HP back.
And he is really close to getting that Blink Dagger. My goodness.
Yeah,
he has
really
it now.
He is really farmed on the Sand King.
Boy, oh boy. He'll pull off and imagine, look to keep that in the dark and as a secret here against Alliance. And if Alliance are not prepared for how fast this Blink comes out, their momentum from Escape could just end up being out of control, Waga.
Oh, it definitely could. And I wonder, they want to make a rotation with the Skywrath and the Sand King, I imagine. Yep, he's TPing in fact. Should be smoking
Got that
together.
purple stuff?
Yeah.
Let's smoke it up.
Get that purple.
And we go right on to the bottom lane. And this is the thing, is Alliance are going to feel like their hands are full when they have this blinking Sand King, and then you end up sleeping on the Lone Druid. He becomes an insurance policy and a huge problem for Alliance in the, in the back of your mind.
If they see Loda farming on the big camp, they could just set up ulti and silence him. It's gonna immediately kill him if they get it.
He's in trouble. There it is. Epi's coming through. What's Loda gonna do? He can't get the range off. It's just a bit too fast and a bit too sudden. The silence is gonna be there, and they get everything they need and take out Loda, the biggest farmer for Alliance.
Very big kill, and exactly what you want to do. As soon as you get the Blink Dagger, you get a payoff with Epicenter. Beautiful stop for Escape. Alliance, though, while they're trailing a lot in kills right now, they are finding some farm, but they are falling behind to the course of Escape.
We got to see for Alliance, like, where's their next peaking window? When are they going to be able to make some plays? They don't want to wait too long. It's going to be when they have the Bulldog Primal Roar ready to go.
Yep.
And when they have a smoke to pop. Here it is.
Right now, Synderen might be the target. You know,
they thought about it.
You don't want to kill an ogre, though. It really is not a good target. They're thinking about it.
It takes so much muscle power, and there's a tier 1 there for company to come in.
It's a small reward as well, killing off ogres. So Synderen, he kind of knows this.
Yapsor's been waiting.
Yeah. Oh, they're going instead, though. This might backfire.
S4 gonna get bursted down. The boat flies out, but it's too late. Alliance, are they gonna try to scrap together any sort of fight, or are they just gonna pull away? It looks like it's gonna be possibly the latter, as quickly Escape disperse and avoid the trouble.
Yeah, they got the courier at least, in fact. Alliance gets something out of that. But, man, S4 died instantly there. They have a lot of magic damage to that Skywrath.
I'm looking at 3 scary heroes here on Escape. I mean, you got a Lone Druid who continues to just gobble up this top lane. Kezu's already beginning to unleash his potential with the Blink Dagger. And then you can't also sleep on Era here in the bottom lane on his Razor.
Yeah.
He's been bullying back Loda a little bit, and eventually could be a problem.
And he's building into possibly an early pipe so that they can push with that hood coming up. Could also go back for something like the Sanchiasha or other good stat items. But right now, it's a great spot to be in if you're Escape.
S4 is going to get back into the grind of his own farm. I mean, he's got Arcanes, but he's got to push to getting to that Bloodstone.
He needs to really get his groove on, because right now, when he farms a lane, he just gets ganked by the Sand King and Skywrath. It's not very easy, so he's heading into jungle, trying to find whatever he can. And I understand him. He needs to get some items before he's tanky enough. You know, 900 HP doesn't get you that far.
Yeah. Where are we on our Lone Druid watch here? Midas obviously still underway in 1,500 gold. The relic getting closer and closer here.
Yeah, it's definitely approaching, and I mean, we're very early on in the game still. I think Alliance should make a play with this armlet on Lifestealer. They just need to make something happen between the level 1 Necrobook and the armlets on Lifestealer. These two things need to work together.
Yeah, they haven't been able to put that Primal Roar to use yet. They were looking for a setup there in the mid lane, but the opportunity left once they made their own gank for S4, and Escape are possibly going to be looking to put the pedal to the metal once again here. They've clustered in the mid lane, but no smoke
Not the
yet.
best time, though, as top is being pushed so hard, and they're also under a lot of dire vision. Not that they know that. They are going to smoke up under a ward. So Alliance, they know exactly what's happening. Probably gonna get tier 1 for free here.
Yeah, Glyph comes out, but Bulldog leaves his look and his fours to be able to finish it up. And it will be taken down. Meanwhile, back at mid lane, it's Koikfa knocking down this tier 1. S4 will be there to kind of repair the damage a bit.
Yeah, and everyone is sort of spread over the map. This is the way that Alliance need to play if they want to recover. They going bottom.
Bottom, both, full, Torrent, all going to connect nicely here for Eric. Can they take the Razor down? It looks like it's going to be possible without a tier 1 and some help assistance. Oh my god, he's still alive. He is running back out and he's going to be good. No Torrent connected, but he actually runs into Ake, who's going to get him with the poison and with the right click. Man, Era actually almost made it out safely.
I was just barely that they brought down that Razor. Really, really close there, and I'm not sure if he missed the Lifestealer ulti. It's a pretty small AoE when you pop it, but it looked like he landed. It was just not enough damage.
Yeah, surprisingly tanky already, this Razor. Simply just power treads, and I guess having that value cloak in his pocket helps out.
Yeah, really. And meanwhile, most of Escape have been farming up as well, so while you did kill the Razor, you rotate a lot of people. Here we see the rotation.
They're going, and they're getting S4, man.
Oh,
struggling game for him. 0 and 4. He had to go back and just find a safe place, a safe space, if you will, to continue farming up. Because once you go out into the light, Escape are there and ready to pounce the fields.
And no, it's really a big issue as the
epicenter bottom lane. Kezu can't
a little bit off.
Get in. It looks like the blink canceled out. No way to kind of close the gap.
I heard epicenter being channeled. I'm like, wait, he's not close enough. And sure enough, he was pretty far to the left. That was ambitious, but not gonna catch anyone. Luckily, Sanking cooldown on ulti is a little bit nerfed, or buffed, I should say. From 140 level 1 to 120, and of course, now down to 110 on level 2.
2 minutes time or so. They'll have it back up and ready here.
Yeah,
but Escape stunt the push power there from Alliance in the bottom lane and force them to regroup and get the hell out and go elsewhere. So back to the grind of Alliance.
The hard thing for Alliance right now is that Timbersaw does not do well in games where he doesn't get any kills at all. He's not a hero that can just sit back and say, okay, I'm gonna farm it up jungle, we'll make a recovery, and it's probably not gonna help if they pop this smoke here. They did. Been spotted out here, pinged out as well by Yepsor, and he knows where they're going as well. He's like, yeah, they'll go here.
Now,
here.
I wonder if Escape avoid it altogether or prepare for the possible
they're standing
approach.
under a ward though,
yeah.
But they're not actually moving that way.
They're trying to make a move for Koikfa, looks like, in that mid lane. But Koikfa's Bear rolls on through. Obviously, Bear not going to be able to detect any sort of smoke movement, but...
No, and I think Alliance, they realize their smoke is about to run out. They can't really go into the enemy jungle now, so not going to get any value out of that smoke, and that's very often the case when you're under an enemy ward.
Yep. Well, Escape finished that up. Scan is thrown out, and...
Escape want to defend this. They don't want to give it away.
Long ignite. Pokes Loda a bit. Alliance stands strong here in the top lane, looking to take a tier 2 before they pull out. Hits on the Bear. Loda wants the money, thinks about it, as he makes his move. Burrow and a combo for Loda. Grave is going to be there, Flock and keep him alive, and then the boat flies through. Will the rub be enough to keep alive? He toggles through the armlet and then begins to open up onto Era. Right-clicking forward, they're going to be able to bring down the Razor. S4 flies back, and Alliance might be able to take a big fight. Epicenter comes forward, and will be able to get the finish onto Kuka. But still, Alliance taking this one surprisingly well, pushing back Escape. Koikfa,
yeah, they just are so hard to bring down with the weave coming down, the ship coming out from Kunkka, and then Grave as well. You cannot burst Alliance quick enough. Yes, you got Loda to 1 HP, but Grave is gonna keep you safe in this game. No axe, so no way to kill.
What did Escape learn walking away from that? Because to me, it's, yeah, the Dazzle, the backliners, they gotta be kept in check.
I think they realized that if they don't go on any of the supports of Alliance, they're gonna lose the team fights. That's why I hope they learn from this. The Dazzle and the Kunkka are really important targets to initiate on. If you're stanking with the Blink Dagger and Force Staff, you have to try and get deeper and get the backline with the stun.
We'll see if he will be able to do so with double sets of mobility now. I'd imagine closing the gap should not be an issue here for Kezus.
It's more about if his team is going to be there in time to follow up. And also one big thing is that they try to take a fight where it's hundreds of gold away from a Radiance on Lone Druid. He goes from not really being a team fighter at all to being one of the strongest heroes in the team fights when he picks up this recipe.
Alliance make their move now into the pit. taking a little bit of time, but now Bulldog is showing up with the help of his aura and presence. Hopefully they can take it a little bit faster, but it's still not fast enough, Waga. Escape are right around the corner with the smoke. Alliance, they have to get away. Do not want to risk losing a huge Roche fight here.
They saw a juicy Dazzle there and a Kunkka as well.
They just built up all that momentum for themselves. To hand it over back to Escape would be a travesty here.
They have the Radiance as well, so now Escape are ready to fight.
Oh my god, they are flirting with each other back and forth. Escape, no Alliance is there. Alliance knows something's fishy.
Yeah, they're just staying together, but Sandking, can he get the stun?
Creeps, thinking about it. But you gotta get the Dazzle too. They've learned their lesson last time. Bear moves in, spots him out a bit. Where's the setup gonna come from? There's the move. They're looking to make it here for EGM. Alliance hit it a bit.
No
ship. Though, not going to bother. The ship's not going to come out. No Grave will be there to assist. They'll let EGM fall down while S4 makes chase. Trying to go for Koikba. He gets joined by Loda. Loda hops in for the invest.
Oh, but he's losing damage.
He's taking it all for himself. Loda's got to get away or he has nothing to work with. Pops the rage. Looks to go for the bear. Will be able to get the money on that one. Cinder on the other side. Man's up on Admiral. Bulldog ear, the big burn flies forward. Kazoo, big connection on the lockdown. And that's going to allow Escape to clean things up. Cinderin with the double, and they're going to get the Loda kill too, making it a 5-man wipe on Alliance.
What a perfect stun there to finish off a good team fight. They got the Kunkka immediately. It seems that Escape learned their lesson indeed, focusing the right targets, and yeah, they just couldn't keep him alive. Even if they try and grave him, doesn't really matter.
There's the boat.
Yeah. Well, a little bit too late as the team fight is over, but Sukezu just flirting with the support.
It's enough to force Escape out from the pit.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to go for a straight Roche after being so low HP on many heroes. They don't really have a way to heal up.
S4 jumps in, hits up Koikba a bit, and is persistent. Alliance.
Yeah. Oh, he stopped. He might be able to catch him.
Oh my goodness, he's making a move. Can he sidestep the chakra? It looks like he can. Oh, walks into it a bit. The slow's still there. Kezu shows up, knocks S4 with the stun. That'll be the end of the chase.
He's very strong though.
Oh, careful. The burst here of Timber. Very good. But S4, gotta be careful. Don't get too greedy. Knock with the multi, knock with the stun. Can they get him down? It looks like they can. Oh, S4, very thirsty to get that one.
Yeah, and at the same time though, Skywrath does get brought down and the Lions are heading into the pit, so this was also Timsaw just creating a lot of space for his team. While he did overcommit and dive, they're gonna get a safe Roshan and an Aegis for Loda at
Very
the same
true.
time. So, in one regard, you know, maybe S4 overplayed that a little bit. He could have played safer, but I still think it was a fine move and a good time to make this move.
We'll see if Alliance can make the most out of this Aegis here. It felt like the momentum swing was coming back their way with that huge fight at the top lane, but then Escape, obviously, with the 5-man wipe, took all that momentum right back here, so...
Yeah, Escape are in a very sweet position still. They are very far ahead when it comes to experience, but Alliance, we saw how they could execute in some team fights. If they just get their support safe in the beginning of the fight, they can turn everything around.
Do you think for someone like Yapsor here, when he's able to get himself into the fight, does he still prioritize shutting down something like the Timber saw with his silence, or do you need to focus on one of the two supports?
It's the question. If they are trying to burst to initiate the fight, then yes, Skywrath is a very powerful tool. You kind of want to have him help out with that. But some fights, maybe he can sit back and just try to counterplay, because he has a level 4 silence, and there's no Lotus Orb. So yes, he could shut down a core very effectively. And I think maybe you just throw the Veil to help burst, maybe your ulti, and then run back and shut down the Timber when he comes in. Good way to take the fight.
Kezu Sand King, who made that huge stun play in the last fight, has been able to throw together Boots of Travel.
He's had a great game as well. He played good on the mid lane, and he has 3, 1, and 9 is his current score. Really respectable on the Sand King.
A huge impact in these fights, and really being the true initiator for his team in a lot of these setups. So
for sure.
Good on him.
There's the Alliance all moving towards this mid lane.
Yeah, it looks like they are on the objective path now. Congregating down this mid lane. They have a tier 1 on their plate. They're looking to gobble it up.
I just want to get something. They invest into the Beastmaster, in fact, who has a Blink and level 2 Necrobook.
Head down bottom, looking to find a way to put this Aegis to use, it would seem.
Yeah, they're going to TP in Timbersaw.
Yeah,
ooh, this
they
fight.
Could get a sandwich play here between Escape on both fronts, with S4 at the front and the company behind. Here they go to make their move, but they've been spotted from Cinderin, who goes for Ake. That means no Daz is going to be available for them, but but they're going to be able to get the burst, and they quickly take that point bot. Response play here comes out from Kazoo as he gets a big epicenter, but the power is not going to be good enough. Alliance on the retreat. Ake hit with the multicast, gets the grave on himself. Fine. Bro flying up through for EGM. Nice connection for Era. Senderin going to get shredded apart, and it's not looking so good. Escape got to, well, they got to escape. But they will be able to get the burst.
No damage. The static link just destroyed him in this team fight.
They actually bursted down S4, and it's going to be Loda who's forced back now. He's actually the lone survivor. Escape still holding strong. They pull back, they get the burrow, and now Loda not going to be able to waddle away. Even the force being there.
He's trying to fight, but it's not really possible for him. He has damage back now though, when he respawns, but he's gonna get instant stun, silenced. Yeah, he's just dead.
Wow, that is another 5, technically 6-man wipe here for Escape. I mean, when you factor down to it, they made a solid positioning approach. Synderen, though, pulled off, happened to isolate the Dazzle, took him away from his team, and I don't know if that was a part of the problem, but nonetheless, Alliance with a little bit of fight back here.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about focusing the lone grid entirely there when they jump in. Yes, Lifesteal does kill him off pretty well, but if they had bursted the Razor instead, I think the fight would have been much, much easier. That Razor did so much, and being allowed to take all the damage from Lifestealer, just walking the dog, you know, there was no way for Lifestealer to kill anything at that point.
And now Escape. We see the climb continue here, about a 6K net worth advantage. It's even more dramatic in the XP department now. And they have a kind of a lineup where they can go back and comfortably play with the clock a bit, as late game is available to them.
It really is. And Alliance, though, even when they're on, you know, even when they lose some team fights, they still just get back on it. They push down into enemy jungle, and then they realize, okay, they're probably playing in our jungle right now, and they're starting to swing up. They're playing towards Escape a lot. They want to take fights.
Do you think that's the right approach for them?
Oh, I don't think you have a choice. As a Timber Saw, you kind of need to take fights. You need to win them somehow.
Looks like they found Loda top lane. They lead in with a burrow, a silence, and my god. I mean, everything when you pack on top of it with the Ancient Seal, amplifying something like the Ogre multicast.
He just misread how far away Escape were. He thought they were farther away. And now more are gonna suffer.
They got dazzled too. There's a silence. The boat flies out to help out EGM. Jerry, good assistance, might be able to help in taking down the Yaptor, and they're gonna be able to get it. Not one, but two. Alliance on the fight back here.
Great stuff for them. Chasing after more.
Gonna get more of a slow. They get a good connection of the X. Synderen gets pulled back. He'll take the rest of the Alliance power.
It's beautiful for Alliance. 3 Bloodstone charges as well, filling up what was a forced 4 charges Bloodstone for poor S4. But now they're starting to get momentum. Going for a tier 1 tower as well. They did lose the tier 2 top, but winning teamfight is the only way the Alliance is going to come back, so that was a great start.
Plus, at this point in the game, with where they stand, they do get a little bit of a rubber band factor too, so they'll be awarded a little bit of an extra bounty for that momentum swing. Get the tier 1, that's even more money on top of that.
Especially getting the Kezu unstoppable streak. That was very big for Timbersaw. He got so much money from it, 638 with his entire team around it. So that means 638 plus the AoE gold. It's a lot of money.
He already picked up a hood for that kind of defensive item here. He sits on a decent amount of change. Do you think a Lotus Orb is still necessary for him?
Yeah, I think Lotus Orb is extremely good in this game. If you manage to silence the if you manage to silence the Skywrath, that's always good, but you can also just purge the silence after he casts it. Burrow Strike is gonna be returned as well, which is kind of funny. There's a lot of stuff that you can return in general. Even the static link will work back, so that means it's not gonna do anything.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty nice.
I've seen that a couple of times too. It's been actually quite hilarious.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Escape still seem pretty determined to close this one out. Dust and smoke being popped here. And then they begin their stroll towards this mid lane. Alliance in the area. Loda kind of moving out to work towards his Ancient camp. Might have to pull off soon for a defensive play because here comes Escape.
Oh, they're running in. They have been spotted though, X marked by EGM.
It's the X, the pull back into the corn for a little Skywrath Mage. S4 quickly makes his move and tries to burst him down, but he fire back to get an Ancient Seal, but he's not going to be nearly bursted enough. We'll hope that's not going to pay the price for Escape, but Alliance...
Ooh, Alliance King Gold. That was not a good static link.
They jump in. Era loses his static link here and is going to be forced to pull off, but S4 not going to be looking to let him free. Cinery goes down in the meantime. Ake, turn around. Huge epic center for Pezu, but it's not going to be enough. The heals come out from Ake. Bulldog weak and wounded, retreats and runs from the mighty Burning Bear, but they get Razor on the other side. S4 is going to be able to barely walk away. Kezu still in the fight, will get the finish on Dazzle, and then tries to...
He's so quick, 440 movement speed, Blink, 4-step and Burst Strike. He can get away from this, just running straight down, Blink available, and in just a second, he's going to be fine. That was such a big turnaround he represented there. Close to bringing down a lot of people, but at least getting the Dazzle. Still though, that was an amazing fight for Alliance. Just bursting down the sky.
I don't know if it was quick knee-jerk trigger reactions from Escape, but some of their spell usage there kind of hurt them in the start of that fight. It looked like, you know, YapzOr was being approached and potentially almost bursted down, so I don't want to see he spazzed everything out onto S4, but, you know, he hit him with everything he got, and S4 just simply shrugged it off.
He knew that he was going to get hit by a lot of stuff. The ship was coming as well, so he kind of just had to throw a spell, use the Veil, use everything before you die. But that is one of those moments that you don't want to get into as a Skywrath, because you can continuously deal a lot of damage throughout a long fight. And one of the big issues as well was that Razor went in and then he realized, oh, Skywrath is dead, my team is kind of running, but I just committed my static link on Lifestealer, and he had to run back, and then Lifestealer, you know, having that damage from Desolator, he just shreds through their team.
And they shred through Roche too, as Alliance will claim another Roche under their belt.
Yep, good stuff, and that's going to help Timbersaw be even more aggressive in the next fight. Blink Dagger, in fact, going to be his item choice.
Alright, so even more mobility, more chase potential here.
And travels,
Alliance.
of course. Didn't mention that pickup as well, so he's going to be very mobile, indeed. I still would love to see Lotusaur being picked up by Alliance. They could have built it on Timbersaw, and they can still go back for it if they want to. Other than that, they could put it maybe on Dazzle as a long-term gold. Yeah, he has the Arcane Boots.
Yeah, it's true. Definitely go for it here. The armor has been big value for them already so far. And S4 with his more mobility build, I've been seeing him do plenty of burst damage, so we'll see how much he can make use of it. Bulldog's also sitting on a pretty penny here at about 2,200 gold or so.
He really likes going for a Refresher. Bulldog really loves that. Build's going straight after Blink and Necro level 3, so I kind of expect it unless they want to stack up on auras. That's also an option for sure. If he gets the AC, for instance, they can get Vladmir's on any of the supports. It's a decent option. Oh, I think we are going to see the first Lotusaur being built up by EGM. He's starting towards it.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's got a Void Stone and a Plate Mill already there. Just pretty obvious it could be a pretty valuable tool for Alliance.
Yeah, it's so good.
Someone needs to get it.
They could have two of them. In fact, it would have been so good. So both the supports can go for it, I suppose.
All right, so a smoke with everybody outside of S4, who will be sent to the bottom lane here and quickly pinged out by Escape. But Alliance are on the prowl. We'll see what the move is going to be here.
Ooh, 4-step on the Bulldog, so countering the Racer a little bit. Extra mobility is always so good against a static link.
Very true.
Helping break it.
Oh man, Alliance, look at this. They're sweeping right in from behind. Cinderin gonna get spotted out. A lead in, a roar, a bomb. All gonna blow up right on his backside. And Alliance on pursuit here, looking to chase the rest of Escape Gaming. They've spotted out Yap, so they're gonna look back. He puts out everything he can, but he gets quickly taken down.
I feel a bit bad for Cinderin. He walks out on the lane, his friends are all there, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna join my friend. Oh, what? I got ganked. Everyone else was here. Why me?
Just trailing a little too far behind.
Yeah, the two supports are gonna go down, so that's 2 more Bloodstone charges onto S4, up to 11 now. Keep mentioning that, but that's a very important thing to how much you can snowball, how much you can speed up your item progression into the mid game as well. So very important for Timbersaw here.
Alliance will take another victory and go back into the grind to farm while they can here.
Yeah.
Should there be now a little bit of sense of urgency here for Escape that they need to kind of push the pedal a bit and go objectively. I mean, it feels like the game is slipping away from them a little bit, but they have lone druids. So where do you put your priorities if you escape?
I just feel Lifestealer is paired up so nicely against the lone druid, and he's the biggest net worth. Yes, Razor is good against Lifestealer as well, but Razor does not scale so well in this game, and he's falling behind in farm. So I would be a little bit concerned if I was Escape. You need to push high ground, and now Alliance with a full Lotus Orb pickup as well in the Kunkka. It's completed. They're in great shape to push a tier 2 tower here. And I think, is that an entire Lincoln Sphere as well? It is. Lincoln Sphere on Loda. So that's also going to help him a lot against this team.
Wow, that will reduce.
Yeah, now Razor won't have. Yeah, Razor won't have such an easy time, and also the stun plus silence combination that they've been doing before won't be so easy.
Tier 2 is dropped. Alliance make another big stride here as they segue around into the Escape jungle.
X on the bear.
Get that guy. Get that freaking bear. They move in. They're going to be committing even the boat and everything for it here, and they're going to be able to bring them down.
That's a little bit, yeah. Maybe an opening, but Escape are in the end going to pass on it. They didn't have a Sanking behind the enemy line, so they were looking to take the fight.
Kezu will just take the rune and walk away.
Kezu is playing some 007 kind of role here.
Yeah, he's having a lot of fun with the Sand King in this game.
They're smoking out now, though. Running towards Bulldog.
He is popped up in his behind. He wants to make a behind the back, like, stun epicenter setup play. He jumps right over S4, goes right for the support here, gets the Yules up on the Bulldog. Era makes his move, trying to take out the Beastmaster in time, and it looks like they'll be able to do so. The follow-up play, a stun into S4, but he gets a Timber Chain off as they retreat down this mid lane.
Yeah, and they're trying to chase for more with the Lincolns, and of course his mobility is going to be just fine on the Timbersaw.
We got a bloodlusted bear. He's mad, and he's coming down this mid lane though.
Yeah, it's scary stuff. The Vlad's AC, it hits so hard. Look at this place.
Oh. Pull back.
Oh, Xing it.
The good Exo. Pull off, but they get a force.
Yeah.
Safe.
They don't have resummon right now, so definitely want to keep it alive. But that was impressive fighting by Escape, just realizing that Alliance used a lot of stuff. They didn't have ship ready. They were not in position to take a fight after that. And maybe they used a little bit too much to try and bring down a bear once. Cost them in the end.
They'll hold their advantage here in the meantime, as Alliance are just going to have to take another tower. They have one more outer tower standing here on the bottom, so...
Yeah, they do. They do.
Escape are making good time.
We see on Escape's side, as we see some sneaky stuff on mid lane, Syndrome with this inverse rune just getting out. We see actually Era going for the build that Envy was popularizing a lot. The Shiva's builds on Razor after you get your BKB. Really, really strong item for Razor, in fact, even though it seems a little bit strange to go for such a high-end item. And here we see a smoke in. Escape are pretty ready for a team fight, though.
EGM leading things off first, hoping to set something up, maybe with an X, but no easy target in sight.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Escape saw something being used on mid lane there. Even though they're smoked, I think someone threw a spell on the creep wave or something, and Escape pinged it out a lot, so they knew exactly where they were.
By the way, they're posing up right now. It definitely feels like they saw something. I saw something out there. Get inside.
Yeah.
They ran inside so fast. They buckled down, hid under their tables.
Shut the door.
Like, we'll wait. Now they see mid lane Alliance fleeing, so they knew that their game senses were correct.
Yeah.
They pull off, and they'll get back out there into the map.
Indeed, they'll be fine for now, but both teams in good position to take this game. I think Alliance are making a nice and steady crawl back into this, even though they were really far behind, and the net worth, the experience graph, all of them speak against Alliance, but they're slowly getting into this.
I see your Shivas, and I match it here, as S4 will pick up one of his own right now on the Timbersaw.
Beautiful item for him to have. Gonna help so much with the Lone Raid going on him, or especially the Razor as well, his DPS.
Wow, no, a mouse died.
Rip mouse.
We'll have a funeral service for this mouse with a piece of cheese.
Name him Jimmy. Jerry, maybe.
Jerry the mouse.
Yes.
Oh, they found a new
yeah, they have a new mouse.
Jerry's gone, Jack is in.
Yeah, here we go.
And we'll get back underway here for Alliance. Escape, able to avoid potential confrontation on their side of the map, are already up and over, and in Alliance territory here as night does fall.
And seems that Escape, they want to push down bottom, get to tier 2 going. You know, Lone Druid, you definitely want to keep going for towers as often as you can. And he's going for a lot of DPS on this bear, going for the Hyperstone as well now after his Assault Cuirass, so hitting super fast with Bloodlust.
Then you get a Mood Shard, and this bear goes out of control.
He just needs some more damage on it, I feel. The Abyssal Blade upgrade not as good anymore, of course, as its Vanguards. The old one with the Relic was definitely better for Lone Druid.
Yeah.
We'll see here. The tower, though, definitely melting.
About 4 shots, it's all it takes. And that tier 2 goes down. No more out of tower stand for Alliance. It's just between them inside their base and moving out into darkness at this point, unless they can get some proper vision down.
Yeah, and there's some good wards found by Escape as well. Deep, aggressive wards, keeping check on what Alliance are doing. So as soon as they leave base, it's going to be known by Escape. Unless it's the smoke, of course.
Yeah, Alliance, you have 1 ward. It's far out there, and it actually just expired now. And it's gone. So now they are really in the dark.
Also love that the Lone Druid bear is so fat it can't fly by torrent. It doesn't get lifted. It just gets kind of confused for a while.
Oh, really?
It's like Roshan. Roshan is also too heavy for the torrent.
It's just like, don't even try it. But now I'm all wet.
He does get stunned though. Oh well. Right now Alliance just trying to hold on. They don't want to take an unfavorable fight. And looking at what they're building into, I think they're pretty far off from a key item right now. It's really only on Loda. They have 2.7k gold. Could be going for that Basher, of course. Would be a nice addition to his lockdown.
How are they on
there it is.
Smokes here? They've been hanging inside indoors for quite a while. It's on cooldown, so...
both teams have been pretty active with the smokes before in this game.
That's when that awkward position where supports are just kind of hanging indoors and going from one lane to the next. Like, I'm here in case you need me.
That's where I feel, instead of doing the smoke for the wards on level 1, you could just buy the smoke immediately and save it for later. Because that starts the next smoke cooldown. If you have 3 smokes in your shop, it's not gonna do anything. It won't build more smokes.
Yeah.
So buying it immediately when the game starts is gonna start that cooldown ticking down. But everyone does value that vision on level 1, and I can't blame them at all.
Ooh, Savage Roar, but...
Ooh, Escaper
coming to save their bear. What will Alliance do about it? S4 says we can take a fight, goes right into trouble though. He's going to get blown up. He's out without a buyback, and Alliance are going to be forced to retreat, but can they make it away? Poor Jerry going to get thrown up into the air and right into the feet.
No, not Jerry again.
The enemy. He does manage to load for back a bit of the stun damage, but he is gone for sure.
He's definitely going down, and when you lose your Timbersaw like that, you can see the call coming out from Alliance immediately. Just, okay, bail, get out of there.
Very awkward. They had made a commitment for the bear, and then they saw,
that's the second time the bear gets them in a tough spot, actually.
And the bear trap. Are we fighting or not? S4's like, I'm going in. It just goes right into everyone.
Yeah, and when he gets silenced, this is when he wishes he had a load storm of his own. But this is gonna be Rax. They can't really defend it at all.
Look at that bear.
Yeah, you lose one fight close to your base. This wasn't even that close to a base, just halfway on the map. And now, in fact, Roshan has respawned as well.
Huge boom.
Oh, they're going in
this. Here they jump in with the Beastmaster bomb, and they're going to be able to get the Sand King down.
And that's a big pick. He plays such an important role on Escape, just holding them down so that Razor can deal the damage. And I think Escape now gonna have to be the ones to give up Roshan. Interesting turn of the events there.
Alliance, I mean, it's been their Roshan, every Roshan. They've pretty much taken all of them. But hasn't helped them too much as far as pushing into the base or doing too much offensive work yet. We'll see, though.
Well, Aegis towards later stages of the game, though, are worth more in a sense, because you can push harder with it. And Siege Escape, they want to take the fight without tanking.
Era moves in first, casually pokes on him a bit. Concussive shot will fly, and S4 gets to the high ground. They get the pull back to the bear and land him under a torrent. Trying to get Koipa there on the back inside as the boat will fly up and over, but not far enough. Now S4 looking to travel in under the back inside. Loda chunks down Era and matches him up. Era pops his BKB and under the eye of the storm here. Can't really find a good fight. Loda continues to make chase onto him, but Koipa and his mighty bear turn onto Loda. He does get a nice grave from Akka to keep him alive, but it's only going to be for a little bit longer. Eventually the bashes come out and they're going to be able to take him down. Bulldog, one of the few survivors here, tries to blink back it away, but S4 is still in the mix here. He gets a double kill, looking to go for a triple, but he gets roared back. Speaking of roars, Bulldog steps in, gets a roar of his own as he's able to finish off Yapster on this one. And S4 still in the grind right now.
Second bear coming out as well. Koipa still looking to kill S4, but he's just juking it out.
He's jumping up and over. As he misses with the burrow and goes to the low ground instead. Hides into the sandstorm, is forced back it away. S4 is in a good safe zone.
Save Akka,
Brave. No, get himself Brave right under the root. He's barely fairly alive and well. The roar comes out once again. It's going to be on the S4. He gets backed up. He gets hit with the burrow, but they can't seem to kill him. Coming back now from the dead is going to be the rest of Alliance soon enough.
Oh god, Aki is burning down. He does die to the radius.
They're getting it quite but two. Alliance, strong fight back right here and a good momentum swing. Lots of net worth to come their way.
All right, S4, you deserve a cookie or something after this. I'll have to find something to give him after this series. That was amazing.
5.4K for S4 right now.
Yeah, that was just beautiful play. The way he re-engaged there, and you could also see it on Bulldog. He was running away from the sanking. Then he's like, no, I have an inside job, you know, going on. I'll turn and go back in. And beautiful play as well. Should be mentioned, Ake on that dazzle, just staying alive. He really did everything he could there to try and help his team.
Definitely.
Crazy fight going down there. That was some good Dota.
The Aegis and everything coming into play too to allow that to be able to happen. That was Escape really giving its all too. Both players involved.
The Sand King did a big thing as well, where he bought back in the beginning of the fight to travel in on the bear, because he was dead, but he had travels. Oh, we're gonna see an attempted courier snipe maybe, but S4 doesn't really kill them.
He's
going for the Upsword instead.
Upsword does have that force.
Oh, he has Load Absorb now.
Yeah. Oh, they got him with the X. They pulled right back into a torrent. Beautiful play there from EGM.
Go back to your base, tell your friends goodbye, and then come back here and die. Beautiful. And yeah, they're gonna get broke down very quickly as well.
Move right in, and another Roche, another Aegis for Alliance.
One thing that I would love to see on Alliance still, yes, they have the Shivas, but I would really want them to have a Vladimir's and AC. It would be so big for them. I think
there's an AC.
Yeah, the entire AC is picked up now by Bulldog. Really good item, but if they can get a Vladimir's or someone like Dazzle, it's just going to help them even more. These RR combinations would help mitigate a lot of razors and don't do damage.
And this is where we see really the difference in possibly the discipline between these two teams. Alliance is a very experienced squad, and they have been able to, you know, bounce back and close games out from the breaking defeat.
It's definitely thanks to their experience and thanks to how well they know each other and the limits that they can take the fights to, that they were able to bring this game back to where it is. They were losing early game really hard, but it's like Kelly said in her interview earlier that they're more of an experienced team than necessarily a skill team, the way she phrased it.
And you can see it in a lot of these team fights. Sure. They communicate well. They know when they need to be there to back each other up. They know when they need to bail out at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
While Escape, you know, these guys are also a grossly talented group of Dota players, but don't have that kind of experience. And you might see an occasional misfire or misplay or, you know, confrontation amongst their team.
And I also think that it speaks volumes for S4 how he managed to make that kind of a comeback after this early game they had on Timbersaw being 0-4-0 or maybe even 0-5-0. And then making our comeback on Timbersaw, that's not easy to do in the first place. And then becoming the biggest factor in a team fight, that was just really impressive to me.
Alliance are hanging deep into the Escape neighborhood right now. Got a nice deep ward down, and casually just hanging out on the outskirts while Escape are just forced indoors in the meantime.
A lot at stake in this game, of course. Escape.
Escape's hope on any sort of mathematical chance at being in an upper bracket position for tiebreakers at that is a win here.
Yeah.
And only wins today.
It pivots around them getting purely wins, and then some needs to happen. So, but they're fighting it out. You definitely never give up.
And then for Alliance, of course, who's about to steal a nice stack here that Escape had put together.
Yeah, there was no time to farm stacks really in this game. The aggression has been very high, even though it's a 45-minute game. It's been very high octane.
Doesn't feel like a 45-minute game just because there's been so much action.
Really not.
And,
the bear, get the bear. It's never backfired before. This time they're probably gonna be outrun by the thing though.
And he's gone.
Ghost, like a spirit.
And speaking of motives, you know, we already recognized where Escape need the win. Alliance, you know, being in the middle of the road and hopefully pushing themselves into an upper bracket spot without having to worry about tiebreakers would mean that they need to close out today with all wins.
Yeah, so everyone has their own motives right now. They need to fight to get good positioning before we get into that main event, of course, at Key Arena. And seems Alliance, they feel pretty ready to go here. Aegis up on Lifestealer, no reason not to take the fight.
And we'll see what kind of high ground defense Escape Gaming are going to be able to pull out here. Loda already begins his move in. He's get some Lotus help and X, and they can just continue their slow siege like this if they'd like. Pulling off, but you gotta be careful. I mean, you got Sand King.
Yeah, there's some great base defense and also really good wave clear between the Razor with the Shivas and Plasma Field. It's hard to even get up and get some right clicks down. So Alliance, maybe they need to get a pick off before they go high ground. Yeah, EGM just Xing S4, allowing him to go back to base. And now
he's got pretty much a full slotted inventory now. S4 has definitely just made such a huge bounce back. Remember, he started like, what, 0-4-0 and 5 this game?
He could get the pipe still, though. That's the one thing that you might want to add here. Just more survivability for the rest of his team as well. Would be really good.
Poikva's pulling the wave over here with his bear currently.
They're doing the X-Mark push. That is a good way to do the high ground siege, and one of the reasons, of course, that Kunk has been played a lot. We've seen the Juggernaut spin, and you can, of course, do it the same way with the Rage on Lifestealer. So you can't really stop him, can't really burst him, and he's dealing some damage to your building.
Yeah, slow and painful, and Escape need to strategize something if they want to kind of avoid it, because Alliance will just keep moving in with the wave, taking some damage on tier 3, pull off, and farm more of the map, and then go back in again. And Escape are just going to get starved out at the rate if they don't do something different.
They have the bear running around and getting some creep waves, but this is not really Dota. You're just sitting there and you're taking it. Alliance are getting the most out of the map. And they're definitely still thinking about doing some more of these X-Mark pushes.
Okay, now it looks like Escape have decided to make a move. They have smoked up, and they're going to be heading what looks like up and around here.
They definitely timed that, I think.
And now they know there's not going to be the extra life for Loda as he's doing a casual X in. They could be at risk of being caught out. Loda begins to make his move on this tier 3, but Lions have to know everybody's missing. Where are they coming from? Here comes the move. The jump from Kenzu as he lands a huge epic follow-up here. The Lions are going to get hit where it hurts. Daz is going to be going down first. They're going to get EGM as the follow play, it looks like, as the cores have to retreat, but they're not going to be able to make it away. Beautiful setup play from Escape as they continue their assault. They move for S4, and they'll get that too. He gets the suicide off, but they've already lost 4. Beautiful game plan coming out from Escape.
Really good smoke around there. Well timed to the Aegis going down as well. That was just picture perfect by Escape, doing exactly what they needed to hold that high ground. I love the fact that they take the fight to the enemy, not wait for them to go up on the high ground. Because when he comes in with that X mark on Lifestealer, it's really hard to catch him. But instead wrapping around for a better point of initiation. The only one to live was Lifestealer. Crawls up on top lane.
Here comes Escape, rushing down this mid lane.
He doesn't have a TP right now. He should buy one, so he's immediately ready to go back and defend.
He's going now.
Yeah.
He got coming, and he's heading back. Escape are here, and they're here as if they know they need to get wins all day and only wins. Here they go, moving in. Tier 3, Alliance have already lost 1 set of racks, but look how close they could be losing to 2. As you cannot risk letting this bear demo down your racks. He does so much damage. The glyph has been used, and in the blink of an eye, it looks like a melee racks will be lost.
Yeah, they're trying to chase, but that's a very fast hero. The Razor, not so easy to catch. EGM, just not quick enough to catch anyone. And yeah, just like that, they get out. Of course, this Skadi on Razor is also a big part of why they can just take the fight. Locking down Bulldog in the last fight, but he can also lock down the Lifestealer.
Oh, Alliance could be walking into a collision. A move in, but the linkage is going to be triggered as he tried to go for a burrow setup. Allows a Loda to get the rage off, but he does get raged in. Aurora flies out, blocking down Era, but there it is. There's going to be a Lotus. It's going to reflect back. Loda getting pushed back, saved up from the grave, while on the other front, S4 looking to push back Era here. There's the Epi unleashed and lands in the back line. Does some good work on the EGM, but he gets glimmered and he's going to be fine. S4 moves back in, and they'll help get the finish for Synderen, while on the other side, they get a double cleanup as they get Kenzu down.
Can they X-mark him? They got him.
Oh no, they got fair, not quite, but they'll take the more money instead.
EGM
slab up the 300.
Well, that's fine too, because he doesn't have resummon for 100 seconds. That's also a fine kill. That's almost like killing the Lone Druid himself.
Here comes Alliance charging right back the other way down this mid lane. Suddenly the game back on their side.
Very hard to defend this without the Lone Druid having a resummon at all. How do you hold this against the Dazzle heal as well? So much sustainability.
Tier 3's down. Lift still online if they'd like. Jumping right to the back. S4 tries to be the gatekeeper here so Alliance can get away. Taking the set of racks. Kenzu still on the sidelines, has a buyback. Otherwise, 40 seconds will have to wait here. But look how much Alliance can chunk down these towers. They're trying to poke at S4 a bit, but he is quite the machine, soaking in all that damage. They've already taken the tier 3 at the top. Loda is just doing work on these frags right now.
Yeah, these Master Lifesteal are doing so much damage, and S4 doesn't really care about all this that gets thrown at him.
2 sets of racks. Loda's heading down.
Sand King needs to go
up with it. Thinking about it here. Now they make their move. It's S4 who's going to get all this damage sapped away now. They're going to be bursting down with the ulti. He jumps off to the side. Oh, Nocto with the burrow. Kenzo gets instantly first, but he quickly gets the Yules up in the last second. But as he falls, tries to skewer and pop away with the Force Staff. Bulldog moves in, gets the roar set up, but escape
TPing in. They don't want to stop chasing after the Sand King. Very hard to catch. Oh, poison touches on him.
They're moving in, but Aloda is already working towards the final set of racks down here in the bottom lane. Tier 3 in jeopardy. Here comes Era and Syndra trying to slow them down, but look at this, it's S4 able to keep them back in at bay. He's not allowing them to get to Loda to stop him. He's on a path, and he's looking to get the Megas, but it looks like potentially going to be forced back. Buybacks come out, and Skywrath makes his return. S4 big connection with some magical bursts, and they're going to be able to take down the Timber. Now they look to Loda. Loda getting right-click down. Era's going to be bringing in the deeps, and it's going to get the job done. Buybacks already coming out, looking to set it on the cooldown.
Yeah, as Lone Rid himself was pushing pretty hard, and of course, Lifesteal gets forced to buyback as well now. Timbersaw already used his buyback. Maybe now it's Escape who can take the fight to the enemy base.
Back the other way, gentlemen. Quoikfa's already here, but he needs some assistance. Here comes the TP, and it's going to be Syndra first on the scene. The second.
Oh, ETM TPing in here. Oh, running in there.
He gets the X to torrent off. The boat flies out, but they're going to get Admiral Konka, it looks like. Self-Lotus. But eventually, it's just going to be more damage now in the pocket for Era to even push with.
Yeah.
Thanks for the damage. I'm going for your base.
He was trying to catch out the Lone Rid, who was pushing pretty far, but everyone TP'd in to him. So that was not a good position for him. He has to buy back, of course.
He pulls it out right away. S4, though, still not going to be a part of this defense for at least 30 more seconds. They jump right in and do a roar bomb right on top of Syndra and take him out. Then they go for the bear. Then they get that too.
No resummon again. Can't catch anyone else though.
But that stunts the push right now and all the momentum possibly here for Escape.
Yeah, it really does.
Totally pull out. Good hold there for Alliance.
Yeah, we're pretty much on even ground here. Both teams down 2 racks. Of course, racks exposed for Escape on bottom, and the range racks is not long for this world as well. So it's just 1 hit away from dying. But right now, anyone could win this game still. Comes down to initiations, and this is very nerve-wracking for the players.
Can Escape afford to allow Alliance to come up past that river again and towards that bottom lane and allow them to do that next siege? Oh, it's going to be a lot easier for them too if they can get this Roshan Aegis.
It will be a lot easier to push with that, especially as buybacks have been used by a lot of players now. You can definitely play towards this.
I mean, Escape might already be thinking about what plan B is. If Alliance managed to make it in and get the Megas, can they find a way to possibly, I don't know,
it's about ratting. You need to try and push out the lanes. Send the Lone Rid there already to push out one of the side lanes, but since he doesn't have resummon, he's scared that it will get X-Marked and killed. So many times this game, Alliance have just went and killed the bear. So yeah, they need to somehow have creeps in the enemy base. I don't think they have enough damage to backdoor against Regen. They would, but it's just very slowly gonna bring down the throne. They need to do something though. I don't think the team fight is gonna go their way.
They've pulled out a crazy game plan before that allowed them to really breathe new life in the game by flanking Alliance in that mid lane. We'll have to see if Syndra and company can strategize something new here.
Oh, they're doing the same kind of smoke around.
Okay, here we go.
Setting up.
Cheeky Escape here.
They've done it before.
Alliance beelining it, knowing that they're just a simple couple of right clicks away from
if they can kill the back line.
Here they come. They're coming back. They're going to see both Ake and EGM. The pings are there. Ake sees trouble coming. They're going to burst down the dazzle. Following forward. It's going to be Kenzo with the epicenter as he burrows on in. Loda going to get extra pulled on back as he tussles with Quoikfa a bit, but the bear has already been able to focus and take it down in range of the Kunkka. S4 looking to help out as Era makes his march. Moving on in. They're trying to stop Alliance before they can make it into the base, but Alliance are not having any of it yet. They throw S4 up in the air. Era's still good. He stands, plants, and fights, waiting in the back, but Loda not looking to let it happen. He's going to get on. They get him with a burrow strike. That's going to be the Aegis. Quick movement from Bulldog gets him to the high ground and gets him to safety now. Loda moves back in for an approach. Double force. Kenzu looking to crawl back in, but burrow and a blink. He's safe and good. But Loda goes right back into work, gets the 1 racks down, and only 1 more racks before the Megas.
Yeah, they have to run away though. After Razor heals up and comes back, they cannot keep fighting. So realizing this, Alliance are gonna back out. Great fight again by Escape. These initiations are gonna hold them in the game, but every time they've been doing it with a smoke. And if Alliance now can regroup, go again, it's gonna be very hard for them to get the same kind of jump where they get the backline.
It's not as easy as it once was, though. Now they don't have that precious Aegis. The cheese, by the way, which was left in the pit, Loda will go in there and snag it up now.
Just saving it for later, you know, fermenting it in the Roche pit.
It's like a refrigerator, you know. It's good. It's fine in there.
Yep.
But Escape, hey, they get their hold. As mentioned, though, no more smokes to work with. If they want to make something count, they'll have to do it in this window of time.
Yeah, definitely. And Alliance, I think they're going to be happy just going for picks as soon as they have everyone alive. The Beastmaster Roar is such a good setup for it.
Yeah, they've been finding some wonderful burst pickoffs on Alliance with that Blink Roar Bomb setup.
Also, to be mentioned, there's been so many fights, but Bulldog did go back for the Vladimirs after the AC, so went back to get that value. It's so good in late game scenarios where everyone has to right click, chipping in. And you can definitely tell in the team fights, they're extremely durable, but when all the spells come out, with Skywrath and the Sand King and Ogre keeping people in place, that's how Escape killed them.
Alright, Escape come together. Obviously, with no smoke here and pivot around this mid lane a little bit. Dangling Yaptor out in front. And Era sweeps in. But they're all getting to that critical mass kind of a point with maybe some moon shards that they could pull out outside of this.
Yeah, we're about to hit the hour mark as we're in this game, and definitely everyone is getting towards that gear cap potential. Razor could also go for Hurricane Pike upgrade.
It's true.
With that Dragonlance, or if he wants to, he could go into like Satanic or Butterfly. Definitely possibilities for him. No MKB on the Lifestealer, so Butterfly would be a great item.
Also Lone Druid, obviously he has a pretty damn high ceiling between sharing inventories and him and the Bear. I mean, I guess there's a way for Koikfa to build himself up if necessary.
He definitely does. The Bear just takes a lot of damage from everyone who has so many items at this point, so while he does scale pretty well, I don't really fancy a late game Lone Druid still.
At least he's bringing utility. He's got like that Solar Crest, he can maybe find something else to
He can definitely carry those random utility items, the Vladimirs and the Solar Crest and stuff like that, sure. He can even have Lotus Orbs.
Escape now, top lane. Suddenly looking to go for their own. Megas looking to breach in. S4 steps in first. They pop out the bomb. The Bear's going to be going
down. That was a lot of stuff used on one Bear.
Yeah.
That was failable, but the cooldown is very, very low. 30 seconds and it will be up again. Some split push by the X mark. Lions trying to keep the lanes where they should be. And right now they have a smoke. They just want to push one more wave maybe. Gonna go without it. Okay. Lanes are in pretty good position to smoke up. See if they use some spells. Yeah, spamming out mid a little bit. Just the torrent.
They're moving right past this wave altogether, and they're looking to find a way to approach a fight here. If Alliance could get the jump, make a good hit.
Yeah. This is where, in the ultra late game like this, you can get a lot of intel just by clicking creep waves. You can see auras and stuff as people smoke by them. For instance, the Shivas or the Sulcurous aura affecting your own creep waves. So, if you're really heads up, you can find these smoke rotations without a scan even. But not gonna find any payoff here, Alliance.
I wonder if they're even going to be considering waiting out for even the next Roche before they make another offensive approach, you know? The game is really that fragile.
Yeah, they could. Also think that Bulldog is definitely considering the Refresher. At this point, he has built so much utility to try and keep people alive from Razor and then get the aura set for his team, but it is a powerful tool to have those double disables. Yeah, Abyssal Blade, of course, on the Lifestealer would also be a beautiful thing. More reliable lockdown. At this point, I think you have all the tools. It's more about initiation, and they're kind of scared to push because the last two times that they went high ground, Escape smoked around them and killed them. So it feels bad to push high ground when you just failed at doing it twice.
Yeah.
Of course, it's easy from our perspective to say, oh, but they don't have smoke anymore, and it's not going to be the same. But you know, try telling that to a player in game.
Yeah. Well,
they'll try.
Alliance. They have that ward down in hopes of seeing any sort of awkward approach by Escape, but they are coming in now for a move in the bottom lane, while top lane Koikfa pushing his Bear out a bit. S4 will be up there with the X to relieve a bit of the pressure.
Cutting trees all the way back home as well. Chakras are moving in.
He gets right back into work here at the bottom lane. Loda gets X, Lotus up. Thinks about hitting into the base, but then pulls right back.
Yeah, they need to be quick about it if they want to push it all. In fact, I think it's too late now. Lodred is threatening too much.
Koikba is getting very close. He's right outside the front door.
He's using multiple travels to just keep defending this.
Yeah, and X's.
Well, he might actually roar that bear if he had a chance. Would have been a potential kill on a bear for a roar cooldown. That's a very nice trade, in fact.
Mine's still here though, and they're thinking about making their move.
Yeah, they used the Necrobook up on top though, so now they're missing that. They're gonna go in.
Here he goes. He's looking to run. Rage is up. Hits a Lotus, and he's not making it too far. It's like an awkward tower defense game.
Yeah, it's very hard for him to do this kind of thing against the tier 3 or against the Rax. Against the tier 3 tower, the X Mark and slow siege can be done, but against the Rax, I mean, with the Skadi on Racer, he doesn't really run up to the Rax even. He gets slowed before then.
I like the way lines are putting a lot of use here to EGM's X.
Oh yeah.
Sending us all over the place to make sure that these lanes keep moving forward. A boat being committed even.
Force Staff gonna keep him safe. Force Staff on the creep as well. Keeping the melee creep safe for another second before it dies.
Lions pull back away. Very touch and go here for the TI3 champions.
We have 1 minute and 10 seconds.
And then Roche will be back. I mean, Alliance could hang here for a little bit longer, force escape into a defensive position, and then beeline it back for the Roche if possible. That's
a pretty quick Roshan respawn though, and they don't know it's going to be that quick, but they're going to send the Hawk to scouts. Need to keep that intel all the time now. But right now, very, very fragile game. Lions don't want to mess up this final high ground push.
No, they do
Escape
not.
have shown a lot of resilience in their team fights.
And they continue to do so. I mean, pressuring these side lanes back out again as much as possible. It's a dirty grind right now by Escape, but this is Alliance. This is kind of a game here. Moments away from one more building to close the whole thing out.
Yeah, really. Once you get that Mega Creeps advantage, you can really take control of the map, and it becomes very easy to get pickoffs or just running into the enemy base when you have Megas up.
Such an awkward situation really for both teams here as Alliances.
It really is.
Continue to hang down here, but they have to be very, very skittish. You know, with how many times Escape have been able to pull out these smoke flank plays and been able to take all the momentum back, Alliance do have to be very careful.
There's that refresher on Bulldog, gonna sell off his Force Staff, in fact. Doesn't want to keep it at all. And Roshan is up as they know it as well. DD Rune available. They're gonna try and save it, but it's 15 seconds until it times out. Loda, gotta take it now.
He moves back, he grabs it, and they go right in for the pit.
Yeah, they kill it so fast.
Escape
1200 damage crit.
Yeah, I mean, they're not looking to contest, but they're looking to shift that direction. They quickly take out the ward.
I think that's Aegis Rocket.
Won't have too much high ground vision here.
Oh yeah.
The Alliance are thinking about moving in. Loda makes the jump. They could get Yapsor. Yapsor double. Force Staff to make it away from the pressure. Era has also been stunned up. He's locked back in behind. There's the torrent. Kezu has to step and help him out. Hits with an epi and a burrow, but the burrow damage is not going to be good enough. Era still locked down. Forced to BKB.
They're running.
He's running back in the way. Quake was already TP back home. Era might not be able to make it. He goes down.
Great X there as well, catching up the Sand King.
No, you pull him back and they get him with the torrent. Alliance just shoot down another 3. Hit the deck. No buyback for the Skywrath. Double buybacks already coming out for Escape.
Yeah, and we see Korkva trying to pressure top lane, realizing that this is going to be very hard to defend high ground, trying to force Alliance to back out and think twice about pushing. But Timbersaw defends quite well.
Stops that push.
That was a hard fight for Escape, since there's even an Aegis on the Dazzle. This time you can't just focus the backline as a Sand King and try to lock them down. He tried to go on the Beastmaster and get him killed quickly, but he's so damn tanky.
Oh, quick. X-Torrent. They're going to get a free bear, it looks like.
70 seconds on that one. I don't think they have time to get to the high ground, though, in these 70 seconds. He in fact buys a refresher, refreshes immediately, and he has a bear summoned fresh. Good as new.
Wonder if they could use that. I don't know. I don't know if Alliance has been keeping dabs on the bear cooldown. I know for a lot of teams they do.
Alliance
like that.
should be one of the teams that has pretty good understanding of the cooldowns for the bear and when they kill it, since they always play on the other end of that spectrum. But at least we're gonna see one more smoke movement here, it seems. Grouping
I
up.
wonder if they're hiding the bear right now. Koikva's keeping inside the base. Alliance might assume
Yeah,
that
yeah.
there's no bear, but there actually is.
They are.
They're hiding
Oh,
the bear.
they got scanned.
Oh,
Scanned
what
by
is happening?
Dire.
They know that something's fishy. They're heading that way. They already blink in. S4 makes his move. Is Escape going to be ready for it? With a brilliant scan set. It's coming in from Alliance. The Absorb blast right back, and they're going to be able to take out S4. Arrow locked down. Pops the refresher. Pops the ulti, and then begins to go to work. While rest of Loda and company are hot and right inside the mix. He's going to get Greg. He's going to get saved, but as you can see now, Bulldog getting Austin down by the bear. Loda's going to get dropped. It's Escape fight back, and they're going to be doing it here. Kenzu moves in. They're going to get Bulldog down. 4 drop from the side of Alliance. It's only EGM who will survive and make it out.
That aggressive blink by Lifestealer, that definitely told me that maybe they think Bear is down, we can take a fight, we got this. He blinks in, turns out there's 4 people right there, and they do have a Bear, they do have everything, and the fight just goes disastrously for them. S4 getting bursted down as well. I'm not even sure if he got his BKB off before dying. I don't think so. And yeah, that refresher, or refresher on Era, the Razor, very big impact item this late in the game. Extra duration on the BKB as well, of course.
We have buybacks, of course, here still for Loda, the Dazzle, and even for Bulldog. But this defense will, I was going to say, not include Aurora, but Aurora will be back.
Oh,
About
the
5
goal!
seconds time. They make their move in. EGM pops out the boat. Here comes the TPs from Alliance, and Escape are quick to get the hell out if possible, but it looks like Synderen will have to be the one big sacrifice here to tank it all.
Yeah, that's fine. Just an Ogre dying is perfectly okay for them. They have very low HP. In fact, 1 HP on that tier 3 tower. Would you look at that? Tier 3 tower does not want to die on the top lane. But it got pinged out as well by, I believe it was EGM.
Still holds though.
This game.
Both bases just...
I can't believe how many 70-minute games or so that are really back and forth that we've had here at this group stage.
Look at this. Look at the net worth. I mean, I know at this point in the game it's irrelevant, but you could just see how close it is based on that. I mean, both net worth and experience split.
It's crazy.
It's all execution here.
Yeah, it's really insane. And, I mean, we've had... I don't even know how many Roshans that have gone down, but, you know, we're in the stage, of course, where supports are getting the Aegis and cheese. It's kind of ridiculous. DZ now on Lifestealer. They might be looking to take a kill with a smoke, if they can find anyone.
In about 25 seconds, Koikva will have 2 bears to work with. Alliance...
In fact, 3. He also has 1 up already, so that would be the 3rd.
Oh yeah, and the refresher. I didn't even notice the refresher was also glow off cooldown. 3 bears.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to bring all of those down. You kind of have to go for the Lone Druid himself. Not gonna find any kill though with the smoke and the DD rune. His Alliance.
Do you think the late game Agnum's Lone Druid is of value at this point for Koikva, or is it not really necessary?
I think it's irrelevant actually. I think you rather just build some items for your main. Like get maybe Halberd or Basher or Abyssal for Lone Druid himself. One item I look towards here is actually Kunkka getting possibly the Aghanim's upgrade. It's not a bad upgrade, and it also stacks up the enemy quite a bit, so S4 can get them killed off, pulling the enemy along. Oh, they find a ward in their base, they're like, what is this doing here?
Free money, but obviously Escape had been gaining some nice little intel from it. They're on their own side, working back with their own farm again. It was another... I mean, how many times have Escape pulled out these crafty plays to get them right back into the game? 2 different
crazy.
smokes, the surprise bear refresher.
It's both teams, really. I mean, Alliance, they were meant to lose half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago. They were meant to be out of this, in my book, and they just came back from the dead. And then Escape, while on the brink of destruction, they're like, oh no, we don't want to lose. We're gonna make a smoke, we're gonna kill everyone. It's gonna be fine. And it's really just back and forth. I can't tell who's gonna win.
Yeah, both of these teams very good at fighting back on what feels like the brink of defeat.
Yeah, and right now we have, of course, everyone being super passive, as we can see. The buyback, the only one who has it is EGM, and, you know, he's not sharing.
Not at all. So it's going to be a bit of a slow roll here until everybody feels they have everything they need and prepared for any sort of future movement. And what's this courier holding here?
They do have a smoke again on the side of Alliance on Dazzle, and I think they want to use it pretty soon. Lanes are in a pretty decent position. They are grouping up a little bit here. Might be going for it right away, but at the same time, when you smoke up, you want to know where the enemy are. It's very hard to just smoke into the dark and say, okay, let's find the enemy. Now they do see a few people on mid, but might be enough to tell them to smoke. Sure.
It's tough, because I feel like I'm a broken record, but if this fight goes bad for one team, it just could be game over. I say that, though, but the other team always seems to find a way to
so many times they've been able to hold. It's getting pretty ridiculous.
But there is no more structures to afford losing here. There's no buffer space between you lose the fight, and if they make it in the base, the game is just over at that point.
The big thing right now, though, is that Era and his squad on the side of Escape, they're definitely moving more across the map and getting more farm taken in the last few minutes than Alliance. Like, they've been getting a lot since the last fight. Sure, they did win the last fight as well, so getting some extra control of the map because of that.
We are going into the late innings here, 71 minutes in, and a very disciplined Alliance and Escape as we get into the final stretch. What kind of crafty plays can we concoct here? This Lone Druid, 40k of net worth here. Him and Era still round up the richest boys on the block, but
yeah, really,
they're at the max point now.
Yeah, they're getting pretty maxed out. Of course, Era can still get that moon shard, you know, and get some extra attack speed. He does have a lot of damage from a static link at all times, so would be a good thing to add some more of that. But right now, I just wonder, are they going to be able to take the push all the way here? As Alliance a little bit slow on the reaction. They haven't been able to split push in time, so they're going to be forced to high ground defense against the Lone Druid Bear. And not just one, not just two, maybe three.
Three sieging bears could be coming their way.
Yeah, and we have seen them blow the ship on the bears before, but Escape taking it a little bit easy, farming up the enemy jungle before they head over.
Up inside the base of Alliance here. They see Loda.
There's a ward. They're gonna find it as they drop their own observer ward. They saw Yapsor. Get that, dude.
They got it.
There we go.
Now they could be hiding under the dark a bit.
The 1 HP towers tonight.
X-Torrent on the bear. Yeah, tier 3 denied as it looks like it's going to be taken. Era makes his move in, pops down the eye of the storm, looks to zone them back. S4 begins to unleash here as he gets off the Shivas.
He's really deep.
He's very deep here. Now double force puts him all the way back in towards his key, and the bow will fly, but it ends up being just a bit short. S4 makes his move and is able to get the finish on Yapto, while Loda gets the grab on the bear. Era now sapping the damage, taking away from S4. He pops the refresher, begins to go to work. Can they burst down the machine? S4 doubles back now in the back of the Timber Chain, and Loda picks up the piece, moving on in, gets the kill on Era, and Era's going to be forced to fly back and relocate back in with the help of the boots of travel. And as mentioned, though, the Ancient is in trouble. Can Alliance hold it? Quake is going in for it. It looks like they've been able to spot out Quake.
Oh, the savage roar!
Pushback goes for the TP and makes it away, but no! They have the X pullback, and he's right back inside the base. They're going to get them, Quake Bear.
Yeah, he's trying to run to the woods, little bear, to the woods. No way.
Alliance still alive again, and no megas. There's one Rax each side.
I believe the Era might have made a little misplay there, running in so deep into the enemy base. He lost 50% of his HP. Then when he popped the refresher and double beat speed to go in and fight again, he just got bursted down very quickly by the Lifestealer. If he had full HP at that point, it's the what ifs really of the fight.
Yeah.
And they have 2 cheeses on ETN. He might be sharing those, in fact. Not sure about that. If any of his teammates are hungry.
We'll see.
It's a picnic.
If you have some chips, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Base
Escape.
push.
Can they hold? It's their turn now to defend.
Surprised he hasn't bought back yet on Lone Druid. He will definitely be forced to, so might as well do it as soon as possible.
Yeah, get it on cooldown.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You don't want to hold on to it like this.
He's nursing it, though. Has that refresher still. Bear needs 20 seconds, unless he's going to be forced to he has to use the looks like he uses it now, jump in, Effie looking for S4, he might be able to get it, but the grave is there from Ake. Loda makes his move, he could get Era again. Era getting forced all the way down as he continues to sap the damage, but S4 moves on in, he could get the finish here. Razor has to run. He makes it back in away, and Alliance go right back into the jungle. They're trying to get the Megas and get the finish. Kenzu bursted. Loda pops out, goes back in, tries to right click, but the glyph is there. It's stunting the damage, but now it's over, and Alliance have just unleashed the Megas.
Here comes Escape, though.
He
Can they
died on
force
Timber,
Alliance?
but he has buyback.
They're running in. They have to make Alliance pay for this, and they have to make it back the other side if they want to stay alive in this game, but they turn back. They are going to get EGM bursted down. S4 moves back in. Think he can make a move for Kezu, but Kezu doubles back.
Oh,
now they move back
S4!
in, and they're going to get S4 down. He's out for 2 minutes, no buyback there, and they're going to get Loda.
No grave.
He has no grave to put out. Hake to the low ground. Can't even TP away. They get him too.
Oh no, this is disaster for Alliance. They don't have Timber, they don't have Dazzle for a very, very long time. Did manage to cancel one TP down on the bottom lane, defending that lane, but what are you gonna do, Alliance? How are you gonna stop Escape from winning the game right now?
Escape need to clear out this mess in this top lane and get to the other side as fast as possible.
Yeah, and it's time for Bulldog to get crafty. He has been known to be one of these players, you know? He can get there in the enemy base.
To work with? He's got Refresher Orb.
Yeah, I mean,
He's got a Roar.
He's got everything to work with. He can
Necro
travel
book.
in on his bird.
Buy
he
a
can do a lot of
second
stuff.
Necro book.
Yeah.
It's something, man.
That's true. You could buy a second Necrobook and a Refresh and have both of them summon. That works.
Comes Escape though. This is it. Their stride down the mid lane here. EGM
Yeah,
Coming
EGM
from
is just
behind.
trying to stall the creep wave in any way he can.
tries to boat it.
Oh, he got the
He got
TP
a lot
target.
of them. He got a lot of them.
Oh no, Loda. What are you doing there? Okay, he's being held away.
Yeah, he's being held away from his base while
I think
Bulldog
it's,
is dead. Bulldog is dead. Escaper in. They're going for it right now. The Agent's in trouble. How are they going to stop it? Bulldog moves in, gets the roar off after Refresh, but he's going to get quickly bursted thereafter. Loda's chasing down Koifa, but he has to move in and try to go for Cinder, but there's too much pressure. It's over. Escape take game number 1 in one hell of a back and forth match.
The dream is alive for Escape as they take the first game in the series. They need everything to align perfectly to get that upper bracket. In fact, even now, we should have had the other games finish in the other